So it's Jiren, right? Jiren's the mortal that surpassed the God of Destruction. I mean, based on the evidence, I would say that's a safe thing to assume. If you look at what he's done to this point, and what characters have said about him to this point, he's the obvious choice of who it is. So, what has he done? What have they said about him to give us that impression so far? Our introduction to Jiren came in the form of a new intro. There was a lot going on in the intro, but the thing that stood out was definitely Goku and Jiren's fight. We've seen Jiren push Goku from his base form to Super Saiyan to Blue, and then whatever he did when the key turned red and he came out in his base form, whatever that was. Personally, I thought that was going to be the next transformation. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be something, I don't know. But after seeing him do that to Goku, it told us one thing, and it told us that that's the dude that we were waiting to see Goku fight. That was the fight that we were waiting on. We already know that Toppo is the next in line to be the next God of Destruction in his universe. Justice Dab! And we also know from Toppo himself that he's not the most powerful person in that universe. Jiren is. So, some more confirmation right there. I mean, that's pretty much saying that Jiren is more powerful than somebody that's in line to be a God of Destruction, so one could assume that he's also more powerful than a God of Destruction. While all the fighters were gathering, preparing for the tournament, Universe 11 was so powerful that they could feel their energy before they even got there. Now, based on what we've seen so far, I think it's safe to assume that that energy that they were all feeling came from Jiren. Kale beat Goku's ass, let's be honest. He pissed her off, transformed into her berserk form, and beat the hell out of him. Picked him up by his legs and beat him into the ground like the Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers. It was ridiculous. She managed to walk through his Kamehameha wave. Just walked through his Kamehameha and grabbed him by his face and beat the hell out of him. It was ridiculous. And then Jiren shows up. One shot. One shot knocks her out of her berserk form. That's crazy. Now, if Jiren is this mortal, the God of Destruction from his universe is Vermouth. Now, if the God of Destruction that this mortal surpassed is more powerful than Beerus, as Whis says, that implies that Vermouth is more powerful than Beerus is. Now, we can't really argue this either way because we don't know enough about the gods to compare them. So, if it's Vermouth, then it's Vermouth. Now, to be fair to Beerus, they're saying that this other God of Destruction is more powerful than Beerus because he beat Beerus in an arm wrestling match. Doesn't really say a whole lot. Not a good way to determine how strong somebody really is. Regardless, that's all they've given us so far to work with, so that's all we can use right now. So, basically all it means is that at some point in the past, Beerus had an arm wrestling match with Vermouth, and he lost it. It has to be Vermouth, right? Because Vermouth is the God of Destruction from Jiren's universe, and Jiren's the mortal that surpassed the God of Destruction. There's a problem, though, because Beerus didn't lose an arm wrestling match to Vermouth. He lost an arm wrestling match to Catella, the God of Destruction from Universe 4. So the God of Destruction from Universe 4 is the one that was surpassed by a mortal within his own universe. It has to be one of the fighters from Universe 4. It cannot be Jiren. So Jiren is not the immortal that surpassed gods. You see, that implies something. We've got these fighters running around, fighting each other, assuming that Jiren is the biggest threat there. They're distracted by Jiren. All the while not knowing that somebody there that has not showed their face yet is more powerful than a god of destruction. A bigger threat than Jiren. And they don't even know about it. So, what does that mean? Does that mean in the future we're going to maybe see Jiren and Goku team up and whoop somebody's ass? Who knows? What it all comes down to is this. Jiren is not the mortal that surpassed the gods.